Well, I mean, just before we got on set, great stuff going on here. Just trying to catch up. I mean, good times we're having right here at the studios of Souk News Television. Hello, sports enthusiasts, fans, and pundits. Welcome to Souk Sports. Now, in the next 45 minutes, I'll be bringing you up to speed with what's happening in the world of sports all over. And of course, with a countdown to some of the biggest and most followed leagues in the world. I am the top cat, TC Barra. Of course, voice on the radio, but right now I am on your TV screen, and we're going to do what we have to do what we know how to do right here on the show. So let me start by letting you know that I do have Charlie Montero with me on set today, the usual suspect. He is the most eligible of them all, but then he has refused to walk down the aisle.
Well, it's a journey.
Okay.
I get in there.
And of course, making his debut appearance on the program is none other than Chinye Akatobi. Friends call him Akata. So should we call you Ataka?
Akata the attacker.
Akata the Attacker. A very strong Arsenal fan.
Yes.
Passionate Arsenal fan, I might add. And of course, a follower, sports enthusiast. So we're going to get to have fun on the program right here. But we'll start off with the local league and let you know that newly promoted Nigerian Premier League, Premier Football League side, talking about Ikorodu City, have announced the signing of a striker, not Akatado, Alade Solomon from 1472 FC. So Alade, known for his goal-scoring prowess, is expected to bolster the squad, strengthen the side, and of course increase, the strength in the attacking lineup as they prepare for their debut MPFL campaign. And why I've been so interested in Ikorodu City is with the exit of Sporting Lagos from the MPFL into the NNL, I have become interested as per the being on this platform here to support Ikorodu. And when people ask me, what club do you support, what team do you follow, and all that kind of stuff, Charlie, I say I don't follow any league, or rather any club. So where I am, the team is what I follow. So back in the East, it was either Enyimba, Abia Warriors, or Enugu Rangers. But here now is Ikorodu City FC. I don't know what you make out of that, but then we need to rally support for the only team in the MPFL in Lagos, one of the biggest cities in Nigeria, and yes, you would expect that just like Abia has, I think, 2 or 3 teams in the professional cadre, you'd have expected likewise, if Sporting Lagos didn't fall, there could have been 2 teams, but then Ikorodu is here, and I don't know if you think some of the preparations they've put in place are enough, to see them succeed, especially the fact that we're not even certain that the league will commence on the 31st of August. There were speculations that yes, will be 31st, but no concrete arrangement, and we're just 15 days away.
Well, I do know one thing for sure is that here in Lagos we appreciate football, and if they can, perform good, during in the off season and during the season, I'm sure they will be able to garner a lot of supporters. And we know where Ikorodu is the heart.
No, but for Sporting it was mad. I mean, the love, and there was a certain hype that came with it.
I think it has to do with the name. When you hear Sporting Lagos, it just reminds you of some Sporting and how clubs are related to sporting. When you hear the word sporting, it catches your attention. You know that these people know.
And then the fact that it was domesticated with the name Lagos. But then I've not seen any club that was able to pull what they were halftime. Just like Super Bowl, they had halftime performances. It was some carnival of some sort.
Lagos is a place of fun. People want to have fun, and people want to take time during the weekend and forget about everything that happened during the week. So I mean, sports is a better excuse for anyone to just,
a better excuse.
It's a better excuse. I would say that with all, honesty, it's a better excuse than, what others do. So sports,
Okay, so I'm just going to put this out there, you guys. I'll start with you, Charlie. So what team are you going to be following strongly in the MPFL? I've said mine. I mean,
he
did that.
I still have my inclination with Enyimba. I want to see
them okay.
Do, all right. There is kind of this warmth I have for them, and I want to see them do well. But we're in Lagos, so we have to support and rally around the Ikorodu FC. And I wish them well. It's their maiden edition here in the MPFL. So they should be able to show us what they are capable of and how far they are willing to go from the first game. Because everybody will be looking out for them, critics and everyone. So yeah, I wish them well, and I want to see them do well.
Akata the attacker. I'm not sure you're going to go with Enyimba, but I have an uncanny feeling that you want to say Enyimba too.
It's Enyimba.
You look at me when
I've always followed Enyimba.
Yeah.
Right from the days where Ojuzo Kalu founded the team. So
Yeah.
it has always been the team, and also the team that won on the continent.
Yeah.
So, but taking what he said, Ikorodu City FC, I think they can borrow a leaf from what Sporting did.
Yeah.
To draw. I know they used to do some kind of rave around the Yaba area, the Sulere area, to get the fans back. And so we are just going to see what they have to offer this season. I hope they don't get relegated too.
Oh, talking about Enyimba.
it's a long way to
Yeah,
that.
it's a long way. Yes.
Well, they just have to put their feet into the game, fully immersed. So Enyimba have gotten a deadline for player registration from the Confederation of African Football. So that deadline for the 2024-2025 Confederations Cup for clubs participating in the competition is the 31st of August. So they have, the next 2 weeks or, more or less to finalize registration of players for the second round. And then, of course, you know that the two-time CAF Champions League winners, Enyimba, have been exempted from the preliminary round. The other Nigerian representative in the competition, El Kanemi Warriors, who were able to get to this stage by defeating Abia Warriors, another Abia team. I mean, give kudos there. They are set to face Beninois side, Adaje FC, in the first leg of the preliminary round at the Remo Star Stadium in Kene, and that's going to be on Friday. Okay, so that game is happening today. Okay, if you had to check it, so it's happening today at Ikene. But then we also have Confederations Cups, happening across various centers with Enugu Rangers, in the thick of things. But before that, let me let you know that Doma United has announced resumption date and have released details regarding the resumption of players and officials for the upcoming season. So there's going to be training for Doma United, which will commence on the 24th of August. And I'm wondering, why would you have a training date when the league is supposed to start on the 31st? These guys should have been back in the fold as early as a month ago. But then who am I?
Pre-season.
I mean, do you understand? What do I know? So Suleiman Omar, who is the club's chairman, has also indicated that screening of new players will be conducted by invitation only. They were relegated from the MPFL last season, and they're going to be competing in the NNL. We have talked about Enugu Rangers on Wednesday. Of course, they've got a fantastic coach, Fidelis Electrical, one of the best coaches last season. I think he even won 1 million naira or something, was given to him as prize money for his performance with the Flying Antelopes. And of course, his team are preparing for their game, which is a preliminary round fixture against US Zilimaju of Comoros. Now, the first leg of the match is scheduled to take place at the Nest of Champions, which is the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium on Sunday, the 18th of August by 3 p.m. A game I really would have wanted to watch live. So it's going to also be the same venue for the second leg, which is scheduled to take place on the 23rd of August. And the coach is emphasizing that Enugu Rangers are gradually reaching the required level to make a positive impact, in the Champions League. And I don't think any team in Nigeria has been able to succeed at the Continental like the way Enyimba has. And so I don't know what Fidelis Electrical has to do or what templates he has to adopt, but somehow he needs to go watch Enyimba of those days. I mean, early 2000, when they were,
football has changed since then.
Okay, so the dynamics are not the same thing.
Not the same thing. You now come against tougher opponents. You come against people that are being drilled. Fitness is something that we don't always, talk about much. But if your players are fit, you can go the extra mile, you can go the long run. Football is not as intense as it is in Europe. So you see them stretch past a lot of workouts and a lot of time. Let me look at the time for resumption for some teams. 24th, why the league starting the 31st? I mean, how is that?
I don't think the league is starting the 31st.
Apart from that, I think there will be a different resumption date from the NLL and the NFL.
Regardless, I mean, a lot of people have played pre-season and they are still,
together.
I'm just trying to say that it's the work ethics that, some of these investors even look at to, we are talking of attracting people to come here and sponsor or invest. But this work ethics also go a long way. I wouldn't want to invest in something that I know they don't take seriously or something.
Okay. I also think that back in the day, Enyimba used to go around the country and get the best players. I don't know how Rangers have done in the transfer markets.
They had some of the players even leaving to Enyimba. We talked about it here.
So that was what made Enyimba tick.
But then it's also as a result of the budget maybe that's available to them, you know. I know most of these teams are sponsored by the state government. So has the state government released enough money for them to buy enough players? Because for a player from Enugu Rangers, winner of the last league, to move to Enyimba, I find it bewildering. So how much would Enyimba have flashed in his face that Enugu Rangers could not afford?
It's a lot of money, that we know.
All right.
That we know for sure.
Okay, so there's going to be two-legged encounters for Enugu Rangers against the Comoros side, and of course, preliminary round, which is hosted in Nigeria. And Fidelis Electrical is saying it's going to be of some sort of advantage for his side because it will reduce the stress on the team. And Rangers are planning to take fans to Uyo in the bus in anticipation of that league clash against US Zilimaju of Comoros. So arrangements have been made for supporters to travel to Uyo in large numbers. And it's going to be a round-trip bus, which will be provided for the supporters willing to make the journey. And then it reminds me of when Enyimba went to play Enugu Rangers in Enugu, and they went with over 10 coastal buses, and then an unprecedented,
was packed.
unprecedented setting.
They are called the 12th man for a reason. The fans go a long way to help the players on the pitch. And we'll see that.
But that game ended in, I don't know, in a debacle, if I had to describe it that way.
But I think this should be a point in the right direction for them to, appreciate the fans, taking their support there, not just via the internet, but physically. to give them the the advantage that they require.
All right, so another team that's going to represent Nigeria and the Continentals, it's Remo Stars. And yes, they're also gearing to face Moroccan club AS FAR. We talked about the fact that some players were leaving AS FAR in their droves, and it seemed like it was some good stuff for Remo. But now the first leg of the preliminary round is set to take place at Remo Star Stadium, which is Ikene, 4 p.m. on Sunday. And Remo Star's media director, Aladimeji Oshode, has acknowledged that the team has learned from their previous encounter with ESPA because they were Agadaba Chuzo for them. They were the Prince of Persia. They were the stumbling block. And I don't know what word or way to describe it, but then it just felt like this is the Achilles heel. ASFA, Remo not going anywhere. So if they have, been able to work on that and they're confident that history will not repeat itself, it's just for us to wait till Sunday to see how it pans out. And we'll be reporting back to you right here on Monday to tell you how that game did go. So those are some of the fixtures to look out for this weekend. I mean, from the Nigerian angle, there are other fixtures on the African continent of which, time might not permit us to start reeling all of that out. But now we'll take a moment, and when we return, we'll be going to tennis. And from tennis, the EPL, the La Liga, the Serie A, and I mean all the juicy stuff you want to hear about right here on Suk Sports. Glad to know you're still watching Suk Sports right here on Suk News Television. Top cat, top of the Kadar, voice on the radio, but now on your TV screen. My name is TC Barra, and yes, tennis has served us some very exciting outcome, and we have British #1 Jack Draper fighting back from a set down, scrapping to see if he could beat Stefanos Tsitsipas and reach the Cincinnati Open third round. Well, try to do that. Tsitsipas, who is ranked 11th in the world, did break for 5-4 in the deciding set, but Draper won 12 of the last 17 points to wrap up on 3-6, 6-4, 7-5, and gave him that victory. The 22-year-old will face Norwegian 7th seed Casper Ruud. Then it could either be Canada's Felix Auger-Aliassime, in the pairing. In the opening round, we saw defending champions Coco Gauff in the women's event beaten 6-4, 6-2, 6-4 by Kazakh world number 34, Yulia Kusitseva, the U.S. Open champion, would lose her world number 2 spot to Arina Sabalenka, who claimed a comfortable 6-3, 6-4 win against Italy's Elisabetta Cosiorato. Fourth seed Elena Rybakina failed to convert 2 match points before Canada's Leila Fernandez progressed with a 3-6, 7-6, 7-3, 6-4 victory. And the men's well done before Alexander Zverev defeated Karin Khachanov 6-3, 6-2, while 6th seed Andrei Rublev saw off China's Zizhen Zhang 6-4, 6-3. I mean, the Cincinnati Open, back and forth. Not as big as the US Open, the French Open, or all the other Opens, but then you still have some very notable persons competing in it. But then the publicity on this has also been very limited. Is it because of the money?
I think it was overshadowed by the Olympics.
Okay.
It's a US event, but we see that the US focused on the events in Paris. So I think it was overshadowed by the Olympics.
Where they went to win all the... What do you make out of the Olympics, Junior? Let me just put you in the mix.
This year's Olympics was not without its own controversies.
Okay.
Yes. But also enjoyed the showmanship of Noah Lyles.
Yeah.
And the African contingent with Botswana being given a hero's welcome was also a great
and public holiday.
And public holidays. 2 public holidays in 1 week.
I'm telling you.
It was a great one for the continent also on that
Then the
level.
Bicycle incident.
We're not here to criticize. I don't think we're here to criticize.
But then, Nigeria's Minister of Sports, John Eno, is I mean, the guy is, I think he's getting the heat now. It feels like his job is threatened, that kind of stuff. And then the lady, say, right, still say, okay, so you're saying we borrowed bicycle. The place that we are trained, the velodrome, you rented it to church people.
To churches. I think we don't still appreciate sports development in this country. And if this will be the point where everything tips, I think it will be great for us. You can't just start preparing for the Olympics in 2 months or 3 months. We've seen videos where the Chinese gymnastics team, they start training them from the age of 3, 4. By the time they are 14, 15,
they're ready to
go.
They are
professional. I don't know why we don't even have swimmers in the Olympics. We have
a lot. We have the Atlantic Ocean coming in here.
I think it's beyond the minister. There should be like a blueprint, a 10-year plan on how we can develop sports. That's when we'll now start seeing us winning things in the Olympics. There are places we have advantage. Like, I don't know why we don't have people winning in wrestling, in swimming, in boxing. Those places we used to have a bit of advantage. But even athletics, the relay team, just simple
batting change and all.
But
it's sad. But then we move. We're hopeful that it gets better. I mean, we're hopeful that all-round sports development will hit Nigeria. But, it just feels like it's at snail speed at the moment. Who now would bail the cat? That's the question everybody's asking. Because if you're saying it's not, you're saying it's not him. You're saying you don't think it's just him.
He has to drive the blueprint. But we can't. I don't think we should blame him entirely for everything.
Like it's something that was always there.
You have to plan.
Did you hear about the dragging on social media about the budget? Money stipulated for just the Olympics in the budget, and
it's about 12 billion. 8 for this.
He said 9.
4 for Paralympics.
Yes. So we turn our attention to the Paralympics, which is going to start off next week, 24th, if I'm not mistaken with the date. And then we have about 24 Paralympians who will be representing Nigeria, notably Eniola, the badminton maestro, as well as Jeremiah, who we're rooting for, helping. The last time we spoke with the coordinator, National Para Badminton Federation and Secretary of the Para Badminton Federation, talking about Samuel Ekoma. He said that he's assuring us that the badminton athletes will come back with gold medals. So we're going to get them on the show. We were supposed to have a conversation with them, virtually, because Eniola is in Spain. Jeremiah will be headed out to Paris. But we didn't want to disrupt their training plan, training session. So when we're able to get them, we'll definitely have a conversation with them and find out how they're preparing, getting ready, and what, target they've set for themselves ahead of the Paralympics, which would also happen in France. So guys, the wait is over. I mean, it feels like I've been
I'm so excited. I don't
know.
Like,
So on Wednesday, right, I had Kelvin on the show, and Kelvin made a plea. He begged, he cried, and knelt down. He didn't need that.
okay.
So he said, please, ladies, leave the remotes for us. I don't know if you're going to be, are you making that plea too?
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're I mean.
No, ladies.
But funny enough, there are ladies that are watching. There are ladies that are watching football now. There are ladies that are watching, it has now become a family thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's.
There's going to be a handover ceremony anyway.
Today?
Yeah,
I
my
doubt.
home. Yes,
I think when you're home.
Are you going to
do the video?
I will try. I will hand over to you to the boys because we have a lot of boys. So I enjoy football. My home is a footballing station. Like, just watch football.
Yeah, crazy. Okay, so yes, the English Premier League is set to commence with a Friday night fixture at Old Trafford. And Manchester United will be taking on Fulham at 8 p.m. Erik ten Hag and his boys will be playing host in that encounter. And of course, the Premier League campaign takes center stage after 2 months of break. Now, during the break, Premier League players were busy in the international scene. We had the European Championships, and aside from that, some players were involved with their countries under 23 teams at the football event of the Olympics, of course. And with a 2-week break before they joined their respective Premier League clubs for the remaining part of the preseason. Now, amidst that, the clubs in the league have improved their squad. Players have been signed, and summer transfer windows were open for movement across the chessboard. We've seen football enthusiasts, participating in speculation as to who would go where and all of that. We've had a fair bit of it right here on the show. But then let me let you know that tonight, Manchester United will be taking on Fulham on Friday, 16th. Today.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 8 p.m. West African time. Manchester United manager is concerned that his team are not ready. The players are not ready. Their new signings, we talked about it on Wednesday, Manchester Leeds and, of course, Mazrui, they will be in the squad, but they only arrived, right? And so they've not blended,
I think they need to know what the ethics of what it feels like to play in Manchester United. And Manchester United have a lot of legends. They need to hear one-on-one, speak with these legends, go through the Premier League. They should sit this one out and enjoy the atmosphere.
Are you sure Erik ten Hag is willing to do that?
But he's not, because I think he has a lot of injury when you talk about, especially in the defensive department. There's what is his name that is out? The new signing, I can't really seem to remember his name.
Euro,
oh yeah.
Yes.
He's out, injured. So definitely the league will need to fill in, or they will allow Maguire and allow him see this one. I feel like they should allow Maguire start and just allow them take in and bask in the atmosphere. What it means to be in the Premier League. It's different.
You don't see Erik ten Hag throwing these guys into the fray.
It's likely that he might, because he has been clamoring for them over and over since he came. He wants the elite, and now he has his boys. So it's time for him to perform. The attention will shift to him and his players from Ajax, and want to see him perform with these boys. He has clamored for them a long time, and they are here now. So no more excuses. He has his Anthony. He has just one person that is out of the mix, which is at Barcelona, that he can't get his hand on. But we wish him well.
What about the exit of Aaron Wan-Bissaka?
I would not say it's a shame, but it's shameful, because we know what he brings.
I would say it was a shame. But shame. Who's shame to who?
to Manchester United.
What club do you follow?
Real Madrid.
Oh, you exited the EPL completely.
I would say I used to be in Manchester United. It's a long time now. When you have Manchester United.
Was it during the time of Ferguson?
Actually, I came from Arsenal to Manchester.
This guy,
I've been at Chelsea as well.
You're not a true fan.
I'm a fan of football. I always say
fan of
I'm
football.
a fan of football, and I love good football. And I see what.
I think Manchester City doesn't have a lot of supporters. You and I can pitch our tent to Manchester City.
No, I don't. I
Why?
Once a red, I can't go blue. I can't. Bringing us back to Wan-Bissaka, because I feel like Wan-Bissaka has given a lot to Manchester United, and he has shown that he can play in the top level. Yeah. I mean, I don't see anybody right now playing in his position across the league better than him in one-on-one.
Or but then even the price drop. £15 million as against how much he was.
Injuries play their own parts. He fell out of favor with the coach at some point, so we can't blame him for that. He is looking for where he would have continuous playing time, where he would be reassured of his starting position. And maybe West Ham will give him that, and maybe we'll see a resurgence from him, and maybe he goes a bigger club, plays in where he wants to play in. So, but I think it's a shame for me, like I said in the beginning.
1/3 of
because
when
you talk about Mazarawi, putting them in contrast, Mazarawis are also prone to injury. He goes forward and doesn't come back quickly as Wan-Bissaka does. And we have a like-for-like replacement in Diogo Dalot, which is just like Mazarawi to say, you go front, when you mess up, you can't come back, can't cover your blushes. But I think Wan-Bissaka is a shame. It's a shame.
Ouch!
Kudos to West Ham.
I need to throw you in on this.
Back to the comment Ten Hag made yesterday. I have a theory. I think he knows that this is a make or match season for him. Yeah. So he's trying to play down. It's psychological. Play down, create an excuse for himself. Because he has spent 3 years. He should not be saying this.
But
this is Manchester United. Manchester United should be competing at the highest level every time. I think his target should be to win the league. So telling us that he's not ready, I don't think.
Okay, so a lot of money has been splashed on these guys to get them into this, 60 million, bringing defenders, the lead and Mazarawi, and you think, or you would expect that investment should amount to some confidence.
They should be competing for the league. They should be competing.
Do you think they have the players to compete for the league?
I think they have the players to compete for the league.
Because when we put them up against the likes of City has a first team and a bench that we can say is like for like. When you talk about the quality, it doesn't drop when the substitutions are made. Do we have that at Manchester United at the moment? Because we can see that at Arsenal, even though we know they don't have that squad depth, but they do have like for like replacements in their ranks. Or when you come to Chelsea, they have a reason.
Let me rephrase let me tilt the conversation. So Cesc Fabregas, was asked his input as to who he thinks would run away with the league this season, and yes, a former player of Arsenal. He said Arsenal. Seemed like a more confident side. Seemed like they've been consistent. Last 2 seasons. And what they did, it was just late minute Manchester City went with it. And he said, yes, there's still a chance for the top 4, but then it feels more for Arsenal than any other side. And, you just mentioned, which, made me, hit me that, yes, they have like-for-like replacement, but they don't have that squad depth, right? And so, does it feel like you're not, going to go with what Cesc Fabregas has said? And if not, what direction will you tilt? Manchester City again? Because you mentioned, of course, that they have like a second.
I don't think any club in EPL right now wants to see Manchester City lift that trophy for a 5th time in a row. So I really think it's going to tilt towards Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United. They make the top 4, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they will win it outrightly. It's going to be tough on them because everybody is looking to get their hands on the trophy. Arsenal more than anyone at the moment because they've been there twice, becoming runners up, and they want to taste that victory. They've come close. They've known what it feels like to lead. And they want to continue that. They know what it feels like to lose at the death to City, so they will learn from their mistakes. I'm sure he would want his players to be fit, and every opportunity he gets to save them from injury, he will. So I think they'll be more cautious now, and I will see what it is from now to the end of the summer transfer and see who they get in and how they buff off their squad. Oh, he's an Arsenal fan.
Well. Man City are the favourites to win the league once again. Yeah. And the only club in their party is obviously Arsenal. But Man City are used to winning. When you have that winning DNA, the mentality is already there. Yeah. The boys at Arsenal most of them have not won anything. So, and yes.
The way you said it, they've not won anything.
Yes. So, Man City, you have to, I looked at the Man City side over the past season and I asked myself, how do you improve on perfection? Yeah. In the Premier League, when they just get into full throttle, nobody catches them. Nobody stops them. So Arsenal's early season form will be very, very important because that was what stopped them last season. So that's the only team. That's the only team I think could stop Man City. As for Liverpool, they've not been great in the transfer markets. Yes, they have a new coach who will need time to learn about the league, to know what's happening in the league, to find a sense of how the team will play and defeat a lot of teams.
So that might be a drag on them.
It might be a drag on them.
But,
But they've done well in
owing to
preseason.
the fact that they have enough players to go around.
Cool.
Liverpool.
I don't think so. I think they have to buy.
They have quality.
They have to buy because Salah is at the twilight of his career, and without Salah last season, they would have been down, and
So you
he's
don't think
becoming
Salah-
injury
The
prone.
exit of the coach.
The coach is very, very.
But I just feel like they still, brought in the performances. I mean, if you watch their game, especially the game against Sevilla, I mean, like, everybody was playing their role.
Yes.
They really enjoyed playing. So it's still the same Liverpool.
But when you're going to play over 100 matches in this season, close to.
So from a depleted side
Yes.
to an overpopulated side. And yes, with FIFA, I beg your pardon, FI,
The rules.
breathing down on the neck of Chelsea, and even Chelsea, the Premier League boss CEO speaking and saying, "Come on, you guys, just make sure by the fourth match day you have your 25 players." I mean, they have about 28 players in the squad at the moment.
Very,
They have
very
more. I
interesting
think
side.
altogether they have 45. As at Saturday when I counted last, they had 45, and they're still signing. They are not done. They are not done. If I pick up a jersey and a boot, they will sign me.
I think they are going to. I think
Montero.
before 31st August, we are going to know their plan. We are going to see their plan.
Yeah.
We are going to really know what they are
what
planning to do.
So Premier League Chief Executive Richard Masters has emphasized the importance of clubs adhering to the transfer rules, particularly in light of Chelsea's recent transfer activities. So the spending limits that all clubs must comply with, and responded to reporters' inquiries about Chelsea's 9 summer signings. Now, the latest acquisitions from Chelsea, or by Chelsea rather, promising young players such as Omari Keleman, who is 18, Aaron, who is 19, Renato, Caleb, Mark Gulu, and Esevo William. And so the club has also secured the services of Tosin on the free transfer from Fulham, and signed Dewsbury from Leicester City. Then they have someone made a meme and said Chelsea has the most goalkeepers now at the moment. So there's just been a lot of movement. But then when Roman Abramovich was in charge of Chelsea, there were a lot of spendings that were done from an offshore account, which were not, didn't go through the right channel, and has led Chelsea to where they are. They've been investigated. And so if the investigations are not in their favor, the results or the findings, they might just be in risk of a breach or something.
Well, that is owing to Abramovich's tenure. Does it have to do with the, modern day Chelsea? That went with when they let him go.
So, in business, there's something that happens. You're buying, you're taking over liability and assets.
Yeah, I do know that, but I think they've served the ban where they were not able to serve.
2-3 years ago.
Where they were not
But
able
then
to
the
sign
issue here now is the number of players who have been brought in. That is not in line with the number of players you should have, as per you want to process the season.
Well, I think they will find a way towards before the transfer window closes. I think they will find a way to get rid of the players, because that's what we are known. We're like, Chelsea is known, rather.
We Manchester, we are red. Chelsea, we are blue. Arsenal, you are what? The Ghana. Any, you are football.
Oh my God. They are known rather for always loaning out players. There's no club in tier of English football where there's no Chelsea player currently serving loan or serving at his time. See, he's graduating to the. I mean, remember Tammy Abraham.
Yeah, he refused to play for Nigeria.
They have a lot of players everywhere, so I think this is the tradition that he's trying to keep up with when he signed.
But then, does that have any form of financial advantage? Does it benefit Chelsea?
They have to be transparent with it. I mean, giving players out on loan, they are still your property. You don't know what's going to happen in the future, and also for the sustainability of the club. They are playing for that club. They're not paying those players, but they are there representing Chelsea, representing. The money still comes in a way. So yeah, I think it's just business at the most.
All right, let's get back to the fixture. So today, Manchester United, Fulham will be in action at Old Trafford. Time is 8 p.m. If I had to really ask you guys, how do you see that game panning out?
For me, the last time rather, that Fulham came to Manchester United, they won the game.
They won.
So I think now they'll be cautious. They've lost players, they've lost quality players, that is Fulham. And Manchester United want to start this season right from the beginning. They want to show that, we're back. We're competing for everything. So I feel like it's going to tilt the way of Manchester United because of the home advantage. Fulham would be
So are you putting goals to it, scoreline?
2-1.
Favor of Manchester United.
Manchester United.
Attacker.
I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Because when you consider the last time Fulham were at Old Trafford with a 97th minute winner from Alex Iwobi. It was the Nigerian Calvin Bassey scored the first goal.
Time,
I remember that game. It was the tail end of the league.
It was like Nigerian national team dumping out
great stuff, great game.
And the team has been stable. Fulham has been stable over the last 2 years. So I think it will be a draw game. They are both teams will score, as they say. They are going to cancel each other out, and there will be goals in the game.
But
so I think.
Don't you think Fulham has lost a pivotal player, or let's say an important player in their ranks in João Palhinha?
And they got in Smith Rowe from Arsenal.
And what do you think Smith Rowe can do against Manchester United? Against the team that is unchanged, I would say Manchester United is basically unchanged. Especially from the front to the middle. We can argue about the defense, but well, we know that.
But then the defense is supposed to be the goalkeeper, the gatekeepers.
Yes.
I think they say the best way to defend is to attack. So if the midfield and the attackers play their role, Fulham has nothing on Manchester United.
It doesn't really work that way. You forget there are times where you have dead ball, you have long balls that move over.
Fulham don't play
move over the strike.
They like to build.
No, but you could have some of those circumstances where you have a counter attack to beat, and then you have everybody napping, and the defense have to be
they have to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, so I mean, you cannot completely take away the fact that each and every member of the team it's important.
I'm going to bring in statistics here now because Manchester United have not lost their first game of the season at home.
Okay.
And they will not start now.
10 p.m.
Yeah. 8 p.m.
10 p.m. 8
No, 10 p.m.
By the end of the game.
Okay.
10 p.m. we'll know.
Okay, so we move on to Saturday where Ipswich Town will take on Liverpool at 12:30 p.m. And of course, Arsenal Wolves come up at 3 p.m. That's second game for the day. Everton Brighton at 3, Newcastle Southampton at 3, Nottingham Forest will take on Bournemouth at 3, West Ham Aston Villa 5:30, and then on Sunday we'll see Brentford Crystal Palace at 2. Chelsea, Manchester City, 4:30. Monday, it's going to be Leicester City, Tottenham Hotspur, 8 p.m. So some very important games here in between that, Let's take a look at Saturday. Arsenal, and then newly promoted side, Ipswich. Ipswich.
22 years out of the Premiership.
I'm telling you.
I remember last time Ipswich were in the Premiership, we had our own Philly the Judge playing for them, scoring great goals for them, but...
I miss Luton Park though.
But then they're coming up against Liverpool.
And Liverpool.
It's just
so I think Liverpool is going to take this.
They have to.
And they're at home. Early fixture.
Ipswich, yeah.
Liverpool will take this.
The Gunners against the Wolves.
I think Arsenal will take it, and it's not because I'm a fan, but
Wolves have always been stubborn against when they go over to Arsenal. They have always proven stubborn. But since that they've lost more
their best
players, so it's going to be more or less like a whooping.
Whooping.
Arsenal will have to do the whooping.
All right, let's really move from there now. Chelsea will be in action on Sunday, and Chelsea has got a Prince of Persia. A stronghold
on Man City.
It's going to be Manchester City. Stamford Bridge is the venue for that game. 4:30 p.m. It's the time, and I'll be watching that game live with my boys. I can't do adverts right now, but then we're going to be watching it some cool, cozy place to see high pounds at Chelsea, Manchester City. The Blues against the Blues.
Original Blues will win.
Man
City is not ready.
Is it going to be a blue day?
Like Man City is not ready. They are not ready.
I also feel that Chelsea is not ready.
Nobody's ready for the league then.
So I think I'm going to stay out of this. I'm not going to pick a side.
It's a draw.
Yeah.
First half draw. Man City wins.
I think the last game was 3-3 or 4-4.
That was towards the end of the season when Chelsea were on top
They
form.
tend to cancel each other out. They play attacking football. It will be good for the neutrals. Those
Yeah.
are not fans. So then
Well,
those
I'm
are
still leaning
bets.
towards
Bets goes.
I'm still leaning towards Manchester City.
Definitely, I think that's the way it might go. All right, so on Monday, Leicester City will take Tottenham Hotspur. It's going to be Leicester at the King Power Stadium playing host to the Spurs. Leicester just recently promoted from the Championship. They still have in their rank and file Nigeria's Wilfred Ndidi, who I hear has changed shirts again. And indeed, he's kept faith with the club. The club has kept faith with him. We're hoping that Leicester City will start from the first match day to try to exert themselves and, see if they can remain. It's looking more and more or less like a fluke when they won the league.
2016.
It's just not far away. And then furthermore, it just seems like after Claudio Ranieri, everything just dwindled. And
I think after they lost,
They won the FA Cup some seasons after
they
they won the league. So it's not. I don't think it's a fluke. But the dynamics of this game we'll have to look at Tottenham.
yeah.
Ange has been experimenting. The Tottenham side looks like an experimental side. So I think Leicester City will be able to pick one from this.
I doubt that.
Pick a point. I'm giving them a point.
Okay,
I'm giving them a point.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to go back to Chelsea real quick because I think it was Mikel Obi who was reportedly saying that he and Didier Drogba were speaking to Chelsea on behalf of Napoli's Victor Osimhen.
Agent
And
Mikel.
I'm like, guys, how bad can this get? I hope it doesn't turn out like the case of
Cristiano Ronaldo.
not just Cristiano,
and Rio Ferdinand.
Nigeria's Osaze Odenwingi.
Oof.
That he had to go to, I think he was at West Brom trying to force a move
to another club.
transfer deadline, and went there. And the gates were closed in his face. Crazy. Well, let's keep
You
faith.
just have to get any club that wants to.
But then, do you suggest that he should take pay cuts?
I think he's trying to resuscitate his career. He used.
So it's not the money here.
It's not the money. I think he needs somewhere that is away from what he used to know. Somewhere he can start afresh. Somewhere he can build his career again. But Chelsea at the moment, I think they are appearing too much in bad news, I guess. And it's not going to be good for him. I think if he could have been able to secure the move to PSG or Arsenal, somewhere, that the atmosphere is rather jovial than what it is at Chelsea at the moment. He needs somewhere positive.
I disagree with that.
Really?
I think what Chelsea needs, if you watch Chelsea games last season, if Nicholas Jackson had converted most of his chances, Chelsea will be higher up the table. So if Victor Osimhen can get there and he gets the goal, Chelsea would do better than they did last season.
Do you think it's up
So
for
they just have
pressure?
to pay the money.
Right.
I think Victor Osimhen is ready to take the pay cut. But the club,
You
any
need to
club
meet
that
him at
wants
some
to pay
point.
the money should pay the money.
But they're doing so by offering Lukaku and another player.
It's not money. It's not.
But it's talent.
It's not money. Lukaku is how old?
But I think a young
sharing
player. I
returns.
think Gui is the person they want to add to the.
Guru is from.
transfer.
But okay, I get you.
All right, so we'll move on now because it's not just the EPL that is resuming. Yes, it's not just the English Premier League. We've got other leagues across the world.
Spain resumed yesterday.
Yes. Yeah, so the La Liga, the Serie A, the French Ligue 1, all of these leagues, I need to confirm the Bundesliga, but the La Liga have released fixtures for the new La Liga season. Barcelona taking on Valencia, right? And then opening day at Mestalla. So we also have two Nigerian stars, Kelechi Iheanacho and Chidera Ejuke, who are set to feature when La Palmas host Sevilla in a very highly anticipated La Liga clash today. So both Nigerians, Iheanacho and Ejuke, are looking to rebound from what has been described by pundits as an underwhelming, underperforming season. And so the senior man has struggled to replicate his 2020-2021 form when he netted 12 league goals for Leicester City. Ejuke, on the other hand, has also struggled for consistency, failing to net more than 5 league goals in any of his last 4 seasons across multiple clubs. So the other game is going to be Celta de Vigo against Deportivo Alaves, 4-6 p.m. Guys, quickly, 2 minutes on this.
Deportivo. Well, I think they are evenly matched. So La Liga is prone to draw. They draw a lot. So
Like
I think
okra or
one, one draw.
Okay, so
But
I
it's
think I'm
close.
excited to see the Nigerian contingent in Sevilla. To draw us back, yesterday the game started. I
Yeah.
think Getafe and Atletico,
Getafe.
and a Nigerian played, Crisantos Uche. He scored the goal for Getafe to get the
I
1-1
didn't
draw.
follow the game.
So I think they will represent well this season in Spain. They should win against Las Palmas. Sevilla is actually a big club.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
last season they just performed below what we expected.
2 seasons now they performed under.
Well, in the French Ligue 1, Le Havre against PSG, 7:45 p.m. at the Stade Ocean. PSG are without Kylian Mbappe, without, what was the name, the nickname? Okay, in Barcelona it was the MSN,
Yeah.
right? In PSG, it was Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi.
They really didn't get the.
They didn't get
They
that.
didn't
There
have
was
the
no
acronym.
synergy.
Yes.
It wasn't working.
Well, it worked in the league. It just didn't work in the Champions League, which is the holy grail that PSG have been looking for over the last 10 years.
And to see him lift the Super Cup in his first game, score a first goal, I mean, it's just testament to what is to come. I mean, it's time for the world to fear him.
To fear who?
Real Madrid.
I mean,
You're
far
a
from
big
it,
fan.
far from it, where Real Madrid used to be a big deal when they were like the Galacticos.
They
The
are a big
Galacticos
deal
did
right
not
now.
even perform up to what these guys will do.
the
The Galacticos underperformed. I mean, they didn't
I agree
really.
with that.
Okay, so in the Serie A, we have fixtures as well. The Serie A fixtures, we have matches this weekend, if that could be put up on the screen. We got Bologna in action, Hella Verona Cagliari will be taking on Roma, Lazio against Venezia. These are some of the fixtures you could be looking out for. Just take a look at them on the screen. So from 5:30 Saturday, Genoa will be in action with Inter. Parma will play host to Fiorentina, and Poli against Monza, Milan, Torino. And then on Sunday, it continues. For you, which one are you interested in? You saw the way the league turned out, Napoli slumping back in the Serie A, and I mean, surprises coming up on the league.
I would like to see how Inter, kick
Inter
off their league.
kick off the league.
Then AC Milan, which is their assumed closest rivals.
And then Samuel Chukwueze, who has performed in the preseason.
I'm also looking to see how well he, starts up this season and shows us what he is, because I think is his time now. Is his time for real.
All right, so we'll be wrapping things up really quickly because we have very few minutes left on the clock. Manchester United have told Denmark midfielder Christian Eriksen that he is free to find a new club this month and he could leave in a cut price deal. Those are some of the rumors making the rounds. The Reds are also saying they have no plans to move for Barcelona, Netherlands midfielder Frenkie de Jong, and are pursuing other options. And Spanish La Liga, Atletico Madrid would like to complete the sale of Portugal for João Felix to Chelsea and sign the Blues' 24-year-old England midfielder Conor Gallagher by Wednesday. AC Milan, who Montero just talked about, have reached an agreement with Monaco for 25-year-old France midfielder Youssouf Fofana, who was also looked at by Manchester United. I mean, money changing hands, that's what's important here. And Manchester United are in talks with Burnley over a deal for 26-year-old Norway midfielder Sander Berge. Well, we heard that West Ham have inquired about a move for Paris Saint-Germain and Spain midfielder Carlos Soler, and former Chelsea boss Mauricio Pochettino has agreed to become the new United States men's national team coach with the responsibility of leading the team to the 2026 World Cup. Championship clubs like Stoke City, Swansea City, and Oxford United are interested in signing 20-year-old Scottish right-back Max Johnston from Storm Graz. Union Berlin and Getafe are leading the race to sign English forward Cameron Archer, who's 22 on loan from Aston Villa. Chelsea, on the other hand, have set an asking price of £60 million for any club interested in signing the 22-year-old English winger Noni Madueke and former Chelsea and Spain defender Marcos Alonso, who is 34. Just 34. Would love to join Manchester United after becoming the free agent by leaving Barcelona. Paris Saint-Germain is set to beat Chelsea to the signing of René France, under-23 midfielder Desire Doué, and Everton are discussing a possible loan for Napoli and Sweden midfielder Jens Kasuje. Brighton have made an improved offer for defender Oliva, who played for France at youth level but still not enough to PSV either heaven. So I don't know if that deal is going to go through. I mean, we're talking money, you're talking maybe Screen that. For you, which of these are you going to be watching out for? Which of these moves do you think is close to being sealed and done with?
I think the João Felix deal to Chelsea and the
Conor Gallagher.
Because it's already a done deal. I think Gallagher has moved the other way, and it's time for João Felix. Even he has a spell there. He had it once, I think 2 seasons ago, had a spell at Chelsea, so it's familiar ground for him, and he might just hit the ground running.
All right, let's let you know that in sports business, on this episode of Souk Sports, the Bank of America has unveiled as a major sponsor for the 2026 Men's FIFA World Cup. That's a big one, if I might add, and it represents the governing body's highest level deal in the banking category, the Bank of America. Crazy. I'll ask the guys what they think about it as their parting words, but then let me let you know that Bundesliga's international 5 new deals in sub-Saharan Africa for the upcoming season have been put, in a total media rights income slightly above what is earned in the region last season. And we understand that UK-based telecom company will agree a multi-season extension to its previous 5-season deal, which ran from 2019-2020 to 2023-2024. So, guys, what do you think about that deal with between Bank of America and FIFA? And let's hear your last words of the show.
Well, it's a business body. So they are looking to make the business. They are looking to make money. They are looking to make profit. So, yeah, I think it's lucrative for both the organizers and the bank. So it's just having a handshake and signing the deals that's left. So that's the end here.
I think the World Cup is the biggest sporting event in the world.
Yeah.
And the Bank of America would want to showcase what they have, their services is big publicity for them. So it's win-win on both sides, like he said. So,
well, it's been a win-win here. No victor, no vanquished. We've all been winners on the show. Until the Premier League starts, then we'll start having some real banters and arguments. But then let's leave it on the low. And yes, we would ask you to put your predictions in the comment section. Follow us on social media platforms, Souk News Television across board, and would want to take your feedback on the show. My name is TC Barra. Many thanks to everyone who's been behind the camera, ensuring that you can receive us crisp, loud and clear. And thanks to the guys who have come through. You want to say bye-byes once more, Charlie?
Yep. Au revoir, as they say in French, because we're just coming from Paris.
Okay.
See you guys. It's the weekend. We're looking forward to the weekend games. I mean, Manchester United is going to absolutely smash it tonight. So see you on Monday.
I don't know how a Man U fan. I don't understand.
You're signed up.
It's going to be a great one this weekend. I'm personally happy for what will happen this weekend. I'm going to be watching all the leagues. I'm going to be enjoying it. I'm not going to leave my house like you. So I've already done my signing. My signing.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Let's meet up next week, Monday, 1 p.m. right here on Souk News Television. Bye for now.